What's up? Okay, so we're getting ready for BMR. And we got some issues. I've been having some problems with the Talon 4-wheel drive. Been engaging and disengaging. I'll throw a clip up here. This is when we were doing the cyclones this year. So, had a technical difficulty and didn't have no audio for that. So that's why I didn't make the whole video for that. But here's what we're getting ready. Got one axle on the Talon in the front. It's not very happy, so that's just a cheap replacement. Got some rhinos, some spare 2.0s for the razors. Dad's XP. Last time it blowed the belt off of it, it busted the inner and outer clutch cover, so I got to put that on. We have True Lock 4-wheel drive harnesses. Let's see, brakes for Dad's razor. Wheel spacers for the my 900. Winch mounts for Dad's XP and my 900. Dad also got the skid plates for his. With the Talon 4-wheel drive, I'd like to say huge thank you to Dell's Powersports and Kayla and Parts. She really helped me out getting me this complete differential. It really helps me out a lot. So I really appreciate it. Turns out my differential was good. So I'm putting the original back in it since it's got the locker in it and just replaced the clutch itself. So now I'll have a spare differential. I'm sure I need that sooner or later. Oh boy, DURACLUTCHES. Up at Dad's a while back doing some donuts. My primary flew apart. Thought I was gonna do an upgrade and go with the DURACLUTCHES. Turns out the DURACLUTCHES have too much engine braking. What does that mean? Well, that means when you're climbing a hill and you need to hit reverse to keep from flipping over backwards, that means you can't. So after about 3 flips, I'm done with that. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go back to stock OEM clutches and going to swap in some gears and a shaft. We're going to do a 26.5, I'm going to call it 27% gear reduction while I got it apart. I'm going to do the heavy duty reverse chain, because I think you're silly if you don't. Got new bearings, so it's going to be a pretty good project for that. So there's the Talon differential. Bear with me here, it's quite the mess, but the differential with the locker in it is still good, so the only thing I'm going to do is replace the old original clutch because it's not working. So anyway, there's the new one. So just so you guys can kind of keep up and see what's going on, see what it takes us to get ready to go to an event like BMR. Talon has 2 recalls on it, one for the fuel pump and one for, I don't know, some intake bolt, so whatever that is. I'm going to get the differential fixed in it, and then it's going to go down to Dell's for the recalls. Then I'm going to do the transmission in the 900, and I'll show you that too. So now that the Talon's all fixed up and feeling better, went ahead and pulled the transmission out of the Razor, and this is why. I don't want anyone to think that this is bad about the DURACLUTCHES. The DURACLUTCHES, I loved them. They were good. Probably, I don't know, it's probably on there 6 months-ish. I am going to sell these if anybody's interested. Come off a 2015 900S. The problem with the DURACLUTCHES, and this is going to be for particular applications. When you need to hit reverse, you need to hit reverse. And with the engine braking, it's too much pressure on the transmission, and you can't hit reverse when you need to. So after 3 back flips, I'm done with the DURACLUTCHES. They work good and everything, so nothing bad about the DURACLUTCHES. If you're not going to climb stuff, if you're just riding on trails, it's general riding, and you're not climbing, then these are great. I would recommend them. If you are going to climb hills or crawl rocks, do not buy these. I'm going to go back to so that being said, I am going back to stock clutches. I run 32-inch Rockzillas on the Razor. So so I don't want to buy tons of belts and clutches. So this is what we got. We're going to go with the Ace 325 gear and shaft. For the gear reduction, it should give us 26.5%. I'm going to call it 27. So we're going to get our gear reduction there. I feel like anytime you take one of these apart, you need to do the reverse chain. I put one of these in Dad's from Super ATV, a heavy duty double reverse chain. Dad climbs more shit in reverse than most people climb in forward. So, and a lot, not just one time or whatever. He does it all the time. So I would definitely recommend upgrading the reverse chain if you're going to pull it out, this transmission out, you know. Also, buy a good bearing kit. Don't buy a cheap China one. What happens is the bearing goes bad and it goes through the case on your transmission, and you're buying a new transmission case. So, in my opinion, if you're going to pull transmission out, put a good bearing kit in. Get your heavy duty reverse shaft and chain and gear reduction, whatever, if you're doing that. Everything else in here looks to be pretty good, so we're just gonna do the gear reduction and the reverse chain, put new bearings and seals in it, and call it good. Okay, so I did made a little miscalculation on the gear reduction, so I had to order one more shaft. No big deal. I'm waiting on that to come. Let's put all my bearings and stuff on and get ready, so I can put this back together when I get the rest of the parts. But one of the things I wanted to mention was the retainer plate. This is the stock one, and then this is the heavy duty. So as you can see, there is absolutely no comparison to the stock versus the upgraded. So definitely, anytime you take one of these apart, put this plate in there. So I got my 900 all back together, the gear reduction, and everything's good on it. Went back to stock clutches, as I mentioned, so all good there. We have had problems with Dad's XP Turbo. Can't keep belts on it. Doesn't seem like anybody ever wanted to work on it. Everybody seemed super knowledgeable till it come time to work on it, and then they didn't want nothing to do with it. But anyway, last time we were at the dunes when it got totaled, it blew a belt and it disintegrated the inner clutch cover for like the third time. So this is what I'm going to do. Got the inner and outer clutch cover, obviously new. We got the transmission out already. So kind of skipping along here, so it's not a super long video. This is what we're going to do. I have gear and shaft, 27 tooth and a 46 tooth. These came out of my 900 razor. We're going to do a 12% reduction with these two by putting these into the XP transmission. And then we are going to do the low side transmission. Should be another 12%, which I think compounds to, I don't know, 28 or 30 or whatever. So it's going to be a lot lower in low gear, which it should have been from the factory, and then 12% overall. Also, I'm never going to take a transmission apart and not put the heavy duty retainer in. It's, you know, do yourself a favor. So that's what we got going on here. We're also going to put all new brake pads on Dad's razor because they're all toast. He's got new skid plates. We're going to finish up some work on the cage. Getting all ready for BMR, so let's go. Some of this stuff that I'm doing, stuff that we've been planning on doing for a long time, just haven't had time. Taking time to just get some stuff done. After I built the cage for Dad's razor, wasn't real happy with the sound bar that it had. Actually, I had this Swamp Donkey system, so I mounted that here behind the seats. I know it's not ideal location, but still be able to see out the back and have, you know, we're not going to lose out on any headroom. That's the biggest downfall that I see with the Swamp Donkey. I like it, but just the headroom is very valuable, especially with a custom cage. So we got that done. The inner and outer covers and all that, we got that done. gear reduction in the transmission, a few upgraded parts. Took the snorkels off and put the factory vents back on. I'm hoping that'll help with the life of the belt. So there's that. Finally got around to putting the winch on. Dad's got a worn 4500 Axon. I got a 3500 to put on my Razor. Just haven't got it on yet. Ain't got time. Probably not going to happen before BMR. But anyway, got the bumper off of it. I'm going to build a new bumper for it and tie it in, and that's probably going to be about it for getting ready before BMR. Also, we got the Super ATV skid plate, so a lot of stuff that it needed, and glad to be getting this stuff done. So we've got some new friends coming to BMR. Super excited about that. Hopefully going to be a great time. I got a lot of new camera stuff to try out, so it should be very awesome. Hope to see you guys there.